So today I'm going to be working on this. As you can see, some slimes are spawning up here, but I've dug out this area. It's a slime chunk, and I think it's time to actually build a slime farm. I'm also going to be doing a couple other projects, a little small ones that I need to do. So the first thing that I should mention is I built this little wall of different tasks that I want to work on. And if you guys have any suggestions, I would love to hear it. But I already did that, the dungeon XP grinder, villager breeder, I already did that also. Working on an iron farm, defeat the ender dragon. I think that one's gonna be one that I'll have to work for soon. Find a stronghold, map room, smelter, nether hub, brewing, find I mean the only biome I have left to find is the jungle biome. Mob spawner, I already did that. And then creeper farm. The mob farm was meant to be a part of the creeper farm, so if I want just creepers or I want skeletons, zombies, etc. And then there is get elytra, sugarcane farm. I think that one I need to do soon because my solution for getting sugarcane is pretty low tech at the moment. Pillager farm, this is just because it's close. Slime farm today, building I did last episode. Bamboo farm, I gotta get bamboo first. Piglin Bartering, I think I'm going to try to see if I can do that this episode, but I might not be able to. Gold farm, that's longer term. Beacon, and a flower farm, because I need to get more dyes for the terracotta also. So if you guys have any suggestions, I'll add them to the wall, and I'll slowly get rid of things that I complete. So the first thing I want to do is just get emeralds for all of this melon and all of this pumpkin that I have, and you can see I got a lot of pumpkin and melons right now, so I need to do that. And I also need food, and what I'm planning on doing is just getting golden carrots from the villagers, since emeralds probably won't be an issue for me anymore. So the villager breeder is up to I think 7 villagers there, so that's pretty good. So I'm back at the desert village, and let's see how this would go. Okay, so another thing I need to do is restore durability, and villager trading is actually pretty good for that. Because if I put everything or the item that needs to be restored in my offhand, and then I trade with these guys, it'll restore the durability pretty good. So I finally traded all of my melon and pumpkins. It took me quite a long time. I had to set up this location to be a bit easier so I could actually trade with the farmers, and I was able to get a lot of emeralds, a lot of golden carrots, some books, and some food, and even more emeralds. So now I gotta transport this back to my base, and I have 80 enchantment levels right now, so it's probably a good idea to enchant some books and get some good enchantments. So let's actually enchant some items with my 80 enchantment levels. The first thing I gotta do is add looting to the sword. I didn't realize I had it on there, didn't have it on there. And let's see what we get from this. So, sharpness 3. Let's see what the helmet looks like. Blast protection 4, that's not bad. Fortune. Okay, that's good. Sweeping edge. So sweeping edge is good because it allows you to get splash damage on other mobs. So the other ones that you attack, so if you attack one mob and there's one beside it, that one will take damage if you have sweeping edge. So that's really useful to put on my sword. I'm guessing that's probably going to use up most of my enchantment levels. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So knockback 2, sharpness 4, unbreaking 3, mending, looting 3, and sweeping edge 3. I think that's all the enchantments you can put on a sword, or at least most of them. And then let's see, helmet. Let's see what we get out of that. Protection 4, unbreaking, respiration 3, that's pretty good. And then I got mending here, so I can throw mending on this. That's good, and I still got 17 before I hit 30. And then protection 3, power 4. That's pretty good. I'll take that. Flame, punch 1, power 3. I can work with that. Efficiency, nope, no efficiency. Shears, let's see. Guess you can't enchant shears. Let's just keep going with the books then. Protection, fire aspect, power. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do is just put some unbreaking on this thing. So eventually I'm gonna have to choose between either mending or infinity on this thing. It's pretty good, so I might go with mending, although I'll have to get a lot of arrows. And let's just throw all this. So I have all the books here. Some of them are just random stuff. So power 3, protection 2. I just wanted to use up the enchantment levels because knowing how I play, I'll eventually die. So I might as well take advantage of them before I do. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is working on this pathway. So this is a simple pathway. It's sandstone on either side, sand in the middle. And the reason I chose this is because I think it works well with the terracotta. Originally, I wanted to do the gray neutral patterns, things like stone and cobblestone and gravel for the path, but I don't think that works well with the terracotta. So I just want to do a simple grid pattern that goes along here and goes along there, so I can just figure out where I'm going to put some buildings and plan out my base going forward. And I think because of how much space this took up, I'm gonna have to eventually build in the desert also. So it'll be an interesting mix of the plains biome along with some of the desert around here. And there are some pillagers that I'll probably have to deal with next. And you can see the sheep are gone. So now you can see this spot is empty. So all I'll do is extend this out and eventually build a bridge here. And you can see Savannah over here. So, and I just want to keep this wall for the moment so mobs can't just come over it, even though they do pretty easily. And as you can see, here is under my melon and pumpkin farm. This was originally where I was going to put the kelp farm, but it wasn't enough space, so I might as well just put the sheep here for now until I actually set up the redstone to put them in. And the next thing I got to do is fix my dungeon or mob spawner. So let's see. And now I gotta light this thing up. And there you go. So I gotta fix this. You can see that there's no turtle egg there anymore. That was probably the zombies got there before I did. So I've repaired my XP grinder and set everything up. It was a lot easier actually than I anticipated. So just gotta knock out all of these. I should probably eat some food too, just in case a zombie spawns. And just hit all of these ones. And there we go. And let's see if this thing works. Come on. Let's see. There we go, it works. So here are some piglins, and what I want to do is try to trap them into a farm. Oh, another contender. Let's see if he goes for the bait. He should go for the bait. And let's see, he goes up there. And he's trapped. Okay, good. I got one trapped. I believe he won't despawn because he already picked up an item, but I have some name tags just in case. So what I'm going to do next is try to get some more of these guys. So the way I kind of mined out this area, it seems to be a giant spawning area for piglins, because this is in the Crimson Forest, I believe. Let's see. It is, yeah, Crimson Forest. So I'm just gonna dig out an area for another one. I think that should be good. And then the thing with piglins is they have really good drops. So they have stuff like nether quartz. They have stuff like soul speed enchantment. That's one of the two ways that you can get the soul speed enchantment, is either through piglins or in the Bastion Remnant. You can also get things like leather. There's a lot of good drops. So it's definitely good to have some piglins, and then you give them gold ingots, and then they'll give you a drop. So this is definitely something I need. Then I won't need cows anymore. Okay, let's try this. Drop one. He's interested. Drop two. I'm not sure what the range is. It seems like it's 8 blocks that they can detect these things. So there you go. And you see he dropped, it looks like soul sand or soul soil. And then he drops leather. And then he looks at that one. Let's see what he's gonna drop. Hopefully some quartz. String, that's not a great drop. And then let's see what he gets next. And he gives, it looks like a fire resistance potion. So there we go. And put one in there and see if he falls for it. There we go, we got 2 trapped. So now we just have to build the cells. Probably been better to build the cells before I trap them. So here's the farm for the piglins that I've built. You can see that guy had a gold ingot in his hand. He dropped nether quartz there. And you can see that once it's put into this hopper and then pushed into the chest, it dispenses another gold ingot that this guy looks at and then drops another item. So it's a nice cycle, and this is pretty straightforward when it comes to redstone. So there is a comparator. It's better on this side. So you can see there's a comparator. It's off right now, but once it should turn on right there, and you can see the torch turned on and off. So basically this comparator measures the fullness of this hopper, and once it has emptied, it'll turn off. And when it has items in it, it'll turn on. It'll power this block, which turns this redstone torch on and off, powers this block, and then depending on if you power or activate the dispenser, it'll eject a gold ingot. So you can see there are 2 stacks of gold ingots. Probably needs more than that. And then it'll give it to the piglin. So this is a pretty good, simple farm. I got 2 of these guys working. I don't even know if I need that much, but you can see I've got nether quartz. I got soul speed iron boots if I want them. I mean, a lot of these okay, let's see. There's fire resistance potions, gravel, crying obsidian, leather. I think this guy also drops some ender pearls too. So I have not had ender pearls yet. So that actually saves me having to kill endermen or find some way to farm them. That's pretty good. So you can see there's a good collection of items. There's a lot of soul speed on here. Yeah. So it has a lot of good drops, and I'm definitely going to get these guys to keep working until I get the items I want. Leather's pretty good. So this definitely allows me to not have to farm as many things, because these guys have so many good drops that they have. So in here I got rid of the sheeps, and now that I have the Piglin Bartering set up, I guess I don't need these guys. I mean, it was a pain to get them, but too bad. I guess they're gone. But this will free up some space for me to build something over here. So I think the path looks pretty good around here. It just needs some landscaping and some kind of like something like plants to go with this. So I think I'll need to work on that eventually. But I think it looks pretty good. And next on to the next thing, the slime farm. So let's go through the basics of a slime chunk. So in order to see the chunk borders like I have here with the yellow and the blue, it doesn't really show the blue for some reason here. Over here it does. So this is the chunk. So a chunk is a 16 by 16 area the world is composed of. There's a 1 in 10 chance for a chunk to be a slime chunk. Mushroom biomes do not have slime chunks, and also slimes can spawn in swamp biomes, but a better way to actually get them to spawn is in slime chunks. So with slime chunks, they can spawn at any light level as long as it's below Y level 40. And if you want to be able to find a slime chunk, the best way is to dig out an area that's big enough for the slime chunks, so probably about 4 by 4, so 4 high and 4 wide, and then dig a long tunnel that's at least 10 chunks long, maybe longer, so that's about 160 blocks long. Light it all up so other mobs won't spawn, and then actually put gates in between each chunk so you can figure out where the slimes are spawning. You can also just observe when you're mining. That's how I was able to find this one, because I noticed slimes were spawning in this area, although I couldn't figure out which chunk it was, and eventually I figured out it was this one. So that's how you find it. So with this farm, I'm going to be digging up to level 40, and slime chunks are pretty easy to build. There's not a lot of moving mechanisms that you have to do for this, so it should be pretty straightforward and easy. So you know what that means. It's time for a time lapse. So my slime farm is completely done. So it's pretty straightforward. It's pretty easy to build. So it has platforms. These are 16 by 16 areas. There are jack-o'-lanterns in the ground to provide enough light so other hostile mobs like zombies, creepers, or skeletons can't spawn in the area. There are iron golems. I don't know if you can see them. You can see them right there. There's iron golems between each two platforms, and with the slimes, they get angry at the iron golem. They try to jump towards them, and eventually they fall into here. So they fall into the water stream. The campfire burns them up. Under the campfire is hoppers, and there's a chest down there. So the one mistake I made was I don't think this is low enough. So the bigger slime seems to go from one side to the other, but they eventually die in there. And the other thing I have to do, well, one thing is that I don't have enough iron blocks to actually be able to build all the golems, but I think at this point this is enough. And also I need to light up all the cave systems. I think I have most of the cave systems covered. The problem is the surface. Right now the surface is not lit up at all, so tons of hostile mobs spawn on the surface, so this will affect the amount of slimes that spawn in here. So I'll probably light up as much of the surface as possible, and when I'm just doing stuff on the surface, this should keep working and I should get enough drops. I don't need a crazy amount of slime, but I just want enough slime so I can use sticky pistons and also flying machines or slime blocks. So this should be a good solid farm for all of that. So I think that's enough for today. I've got a lot done, so I want to thank everybody for watching, and especially because I just hit 30k subscribers, I want to thank you guys, and I'd love to hear your guys' comments, and thank you for watching.